This is the 2021 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Yeast Experiment No. 1 Dropkavike Nate Pale Ale. Thank you to our sponsors: Imperial Yeast, 5 Star Chemicals, Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Supply Store, Brewing America, all stainless steel mash paddle sponsors. Also Hopsteiner and Yakima Chief Hops. Get brewing.
Hey guys, Matt here at Brewery. I'm going to do another review for the Brewtubers Yeast Experiment. Hub number 1, this is the Dropkavike Nate. I'm going to go ahead and crack into this one from Big Dog Brewings from Dave Phelps. It's also now a fellow canner. Probably also thank you to Dennis Pinn for the recommendation for October. I believe he also has the October SL1, and he does the 12-ounce cans. So this one, again, is from Dave Phelps. He used the Ebbegarden yeast from Escarpment, I believe. Let's see, yes, Escarpment Yeast Labs. So this is a 6% ABV. Brewed it on 410, canned it on 422. Sorry, kegged it on 422, canned it on 5.1. The original gravity is 1050. The final gravity was 1004. Let's see what other information we can find here on the spreadsheet. So he uses the Anvil Foundry electric 120 volt system. Mashed at 152. Mash pH was 5.47. Pre-boil gravity 1045. He whirlpooled at 170 for 30 minutes. Got a 1050 OG, fermented at 90 degrees. Let's see here, he used a wrapped fermenter with some heavy blankets. Dry hop for 7 days at 68 degrees. Cold crash for 2 days at 38. 1004 was the final gravity. Final serving pH was 4.4, and I think that's been pretty spot on with all the ones I've reviewed so far. He also force carbonated, let's see, 25 psi for 36 hours, and serving at 10 psi. He says he forgot to sanitize the beer gun, but canned some beer before canning the DKN. So he believes that anything that was in the line would have been all right from that. I'm sure it'll be fine if you were already canning. Some shout out to our sponsors here before we get going. Again, thank you to Brewing America, our newest sponsor. Muffin top glasses that I have from those guys. Big thank you to Beer and Wine Hobby for supplying all of our ingredients. So I believe everybody in the club that was part of this did that, or most have. Thank you to Yakima Chief Hops and Hopsteiner for giving us a shit ton of hops that we'll be using for quite some time. And again, thank you to 5 Star Chemicals to help keep our brewery clean and sanitary. Well, this has the right color of a DKN. It looks very similar to the Control and mine. So far, a little bit cloudy, but you can see kind of through it. It's not super clear. I believe mine was a little bit clearer. I think so far mine has been the clearest, but not as clear as the Control. The USO5 does a bang job cleaning it out. Had a little over a finger head when it was poured there, and it's still kind of hanging around. It's got a nice sort of frothy meringue-like white head on that, tight bubbles, kind of hanging onto the glass a little bit as I swirl it, so that's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. I don't know a whole lot about this yeast. I know from what I've read, I know that it gives some esters of like a tropical notes, like a guava or a mango, and I love mango. It does talk about, from what I read, the bitterness can be accentuated with these yeasts. So you don't have to, if you don't want to, you can go low or not at all with the bittering on the hops, because apparently the yeast will help take care of that. So that's pretty cool. And I'm definitely getting more of that tropical from this. Less on the citrus as I've gotten on Dennis's. Not really getting like the orange, the citrus from that. Instead, I am getting the tropical notes. Like I'm definitely getting a lot of mango. Getting some of that. I'm definitely smelling some of that guava now that they mentioned that. I don't have a whole lot of experience with guava, but I definitely love me some mango, and I can smell that here. That's very, very nice, very inviting. Sort of like it kind of got like a nice, smooth, tropical aroma to it. Let's check it out. Cheers. So I was expecting this to be a little bit more bitter than the control, because they talked about not needing bittering hops, and that it kind of helps accentuate that. But I'm not really getting a lot of bitterness from this. It does have like a little bit of a bite to it at first, but it dissipates quickly. I wouldn't really call that bitter, because it kind of smooths out right away. It's kind of a nice middle of the road roundness to that. I like that. I like that a lot. And interestingly enough, I'm getting some of that. I know the mango was very pronounced in the aroma for me, and I'm getting some of that in the taste even. I'm trying to see if, just with my knowledge of El Dorado and Galaxy, I'm not really getting some of the characteristics I'm expecting to get from like the El Dorado. But I'm getting like a very subtle Galaxy characteristic to that, like the passion fruit, and some of that not really getting like the bubblegum juicy fruit that I recall from the control of the original DKN from Nate. So I'm not getting really much of that, but I'm getting, this one definitely has more of a tropical highlight to it. In the taste, it's muted. It's not full of citrus, full of tropical notes. It's definitely more in the aroma, and it is a nice balance too. So it's not real bitter at all. Yeah, it's very pleasant, very nice. This is great. I was working out in the yard today and definitely needed something really refreshing, and this is just it right here. Yeah, so nice job, Dave. Thank you for sending this. Big Dog Brewing. We're all going to be canning soon, I think. Slowly, one by one, converting. It's all Dennis's fault. But yeah, very nice. Thank you again to all of our sponsors. Thank you, Dave, for being a part of this. Nice beer, very nice. And I'll see you guys on the next review. Cheers. And it's also Wednesday, so happy Humber Wednesday. Take care.